Hey guys, Rebecca back for the next episode of the Quintuple M, the Monday Mr. Money Mustache Motivation. Today is episode 24, and this episode is from a blog post by Mr. Money Mustache that was posted on May 19th, 2011. And this is the one that I very nearly decided to skip, but I'm not going to do it. This is the one that is titled Mr. Money Mustache versus Dave Ramsey. So, before we get into the blog post, keep in mind all opinions expressed in this blog post are those of Mr. Money Mustache. And while I do not consider myself a Dave Ramsey purist by any way, shape, or form, I do like Dave Ramsey, and I contribute all of my progress in my finances really to him, because if not for Dave Ramsey, then I would never have made that leap into the finance world. It was just not something that I really focused on in my life until I discovered Dave Ramsey when I was Googling how to get out of debt quickly, because I was tired of being in debt, but I didn't really know how to get out of it. And if you Google how to get out of debt fast, the first thing that you are going to see is Dave Ramsey. And, you know, I attribute Dave Ramsey to teaching me the very basics, how to budget, how to live beneath your means, how to put whatever extra you can find in a single month towards your debt and use the snowball to start getting out of debt so that you can feel better about yourself. Now that I have gotten a few debts paid off, I started this journey with $90,000+ in consumer debt. I had 7 different debts that comprised that $90,000. And I started out this journey using the snowball method to have some quick wins psychologically, and that does help. You cannot discount the psychological factor of using the debt snowball method. So I owe a lot to Dave Ramsey, and I do not hate him. However, Mr. Money Mustache appears to not be a fan of Dave Ramsey, and so we'll get into this blog post right now. Being a newcomer to the financial guru circle, Mr. Money Mustache decided to check out what his competitors have been saying throughout the historical times to see if they have their story straight. So he spent a recent weekend listening in full to the audiobook version of Dave Ramsey's ultimate career work, The Total Money Makeover. As a disclaimer, before I launch into the comparisons, Dave Ramsey seems like a good guy whose work has improved the lives of many people. He's already rich, but he continues to tour the world and sell motivational products to people and make even more money. Mr. Money Mustache will never appear on infomercials or try to sell you books and CDs. He's already retired, and that would be way too much non-fun work. So I wish to arouse no wrath from any of his lawyers. But fuck, what an annoying audiobook that is. I'd never heard of this Dave Ramsey guy before becoming a public figure myself recently. But it turns out he is this Southern preacher type guy who has had a talk radio show for many years. He yells a lot when delivering his material and sprinkles in plenty of biblical quotations and references to the intervention that God makes into the financial affairs of deserving subjects. He likes to repeat a small group of mundane quotes over and over while chuckling to himself as if they are funny. Because if you live like no one else today, you'll get to live like no one else later. And he inexplicably repeats the incorrect statement that the stock market averages returns of 12% per year in all of his examples. So how does the Mr. Money Mustache target audience differ from that of Dave Ramsey? I'm crediting Junior Mustaches as being a bit more adult than the folks needing the baby steps in his plan. You don't need to be slapped around to get your first $1,000 available for tiny emergencies like a water heater replacement. You are already making enough money and paying your bills. You've got some self-discipline. You're just wondering how you can get some actual riches going on and have the option of having some more freedom in the not too distant future. And perhaps you like the funky rhymes that Mr. Money Mustache writes more than what spills from the keyboards of the other MCs. What else do we do differently here? Well, I think the way of the stash is different because I've never used any kind of budget, never in my life. It seems inefficient to me, and a possible stumbling point because really, who can remember to do a chore like that every month? I believe budgets have worked for many people, but I have had greater success breaking it down to a much smaller level, the individual transaction. As a mustachian, you will learn to think before you make every money transaction and optimize that transaction right at that moment. In short, you just don't buy anything until you've really thought about it. This eliminates most purchases outright. Then you optimize the remaining purchases so that they cost about 75% less than normal whenever possible. For those wanting to wade in to test the waters and still see immediate benefits, I'll present ideas for optimizing each area of life spending and a few for income. You can adopt each one and win, or ignore it and not win in that area. Assuming you are currently getting by with very little savings, your savings will increase based on the number of changes you make. And if you make them all, you'll be rich in just a few years. Woohoo! This sounds simplistic, but it works because this country is so rich and so cheap that even on a minimum wage income, you still have enough to buy food and shelter. And someone smart enough to be reading Mr. Money Mustache right now, you're probably earning much more than minimum wage. This allows you to add luxuries like an efficient used car and carefully spaced extras like entertainment and toys while still keeping most of your money for kick-ass saving and investment. The other thing Mr. Money Mustache will not do is say things like, quote, "God brought a Jaguar back into my life," end quote, and, quote, "God tends to pour blessings on people going the direction he wants them to go," end quote. These are actual quotes from the Dave Ramsey book, by the way. I think we get enough religion by just listening to the political debates, and when it's time to get rich, we do it using solid mathematics and occasional manly swearing. That's why here we maintain a separation of church and stash. Because we're using math, for example, I'm not going to tell you to pay off your smallest debts first, as with the Dave Ramsey snowball. I'm going to tell you to pay off your highest interest debts first. And I'm not going to tell you to cut up your credit cards and that you can't have a home equity line of credit. I think these things are great, but you will use them with the same discipline as if you were spending a crisp cash freshly pulled from the lips of a cute baby angel. You must love your money and feel great pain every time you lose it by spending instead of keeping it by investing. And because you love it, you must always put it to work in the most efficient way possible. That is my specialty. Thanks for choosing Mr. Money Mustache. Yeah, I really enjoyed this post. I think this is one of Mr. Money Mustache's greatest. I have mentioned in my own videos before that while I accredit so much to Dave Ramsey in my own financial journey, I recognize the fact that sometimes you outgrow Dave Ramsey. And if you are able to start your journey out learning the basics with Dave Ramsey, using the debt snowball to get those mental wins that you need in the beginning, it is completely okay to keep an open mind and move on to other ways of thinking as you continue on your own personal finance journey. So yeah, I hope I didn't lose any subscribers with this video. I may have, but that's all right. You know, I know there are some people out there who are completely 100% purist Dave Ramsey. And I am not saying that if you follow Dave Ramsey, you'll never get to financial independence. You may one day. You might, reach a significant level of wealth following Dave Ramsey, just completely, and not looking at anything else in life. But what I'm saying is, there are other ways of thinking out there. and you can pick and choose whatever path will work best for your own individual situation. You can pick and choose whatever aspects you like from other ways of thinking and mold a plan that is completely unique to you and your unique financial situation. And that is absolutely okay. Everybody else has a different version of what they think brings them the most value financially. So you can take a different path if that's what you want to do, and that's completely okay. And I feel like that there's a lot of people in the Dave Ramsey community, I myself have been guilty of this in the past, of feeling like when you get started with Dave Ramsey, you almost feel like you have to sort of justify every single purchase that you make because that amount of money is an amount of money that you could have put towards debt. But balance. I have mentioned this in many of my other videos that I've put out there and in a few videos here recently, actually. But yeah, balance is key, especially if you're on a long debt payoff journey and not just debt payoff, but reaching financial independence when you're starting from a point of being tens of thousands of dollars in consumer debt, not even counting mortgage, just consumer debt. It's going to take you years. It's going to take decades to reach financial independence. So you have to find balance. Find something, some plan that you mold yourself for your own unique situation that is going to allow you to continue on the path, reach your financial goals, but not drive you completely insane in the process. That is what I took away from this blog post. I did not choose to completely discredit Mr. Money Mustache because I had gotten my start in the financial world with Dave Ramsey. This is what I was talking about in a previous episode of the Quintuple M about not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Take what you can from each individual person's opinion on personal finance and mold something that is going to work for you in your situation. All right, guys, let me know what you think about this blog post below, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye.